Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. Some breaking developments now coming in. This is going to be another setback to the Congress party. Former Law Minister Ashwini Kumar has resigned from the party. Sources are telling us that he was miffed at being left out of the Punjab campaign. And this comes just 5 days ahead of the polls that we're going to see in Punjab. He was not a newbie but a veteran that had served for almost 4 decades as far as the party was concerned. He's put out his resignation letter saying he feels he can work for the larger cause outside of the fold of the party. But the reasons that we're picking up is that he was miffed at being left out of the Punjab campaign. As I said, the timing is very crucial because this comes just about 5 days before the state goes to polls. We'll try and go across to our colleagues to try and understand what the reasons were. Were there any sort of communication that happened as far as the top brass is concerned? But 5 days ahead of the Punjab polls, this is going to be a big setback to the Congress party. My colleague and our senior editor, Pallavi Ghosh, now joining us with more details. Pallavi, as we said, this is going to be a big setback just before the state goes for polls. What are your sources telling you? What was the reason behind the resignation?
See, this would be an embarrassment for the Congress party because Ashwini Kumar has been a member of parliament from Punjab, and this is just happening in the bang midst of Punjab elections. Well, his letter talks about the fact that, he wants to go on to carry on his social activities. But the main reason, of course, is the fact that, like Manish Tiwari, Ashwini Kumar was not even roped in for campaigning as far as the Punjab Congress elections are concerned. The feeling of being left out, of not being used, of being sidelined with the Congress party is something many leaders who quit the party were talking about. So Ashwini Kumar leaves active politics, he leaves the Congress party, no clarity yet whether he plans to join any other political party, but his departure or exit of the former law minister is embarrassing enough.
Pallavi, this is something that we discussed when we'd seen Manish Tiwari's name being left out of the star campaigners list. That wouldn't have veterans helped the Congress party on the ground?
You need all hands on deck. Congress is fighting an anti-incumbency. AAP is surging ahead. And I've been following Manish Tiwari. He has been campaigning in his Lok Sabha constituency for the Congress candidates over there. He puts out those videos and he sends out this message that, listen, I'm able to gather the crowds. I have a stronghold in that particular area. That's a clear-cut messaging to the top leadership that we all matter. And frankly speaking, if you compare it to, say, the BJP, where they're getting all the MPs to campaign for the party, depending on which state is going to poll, this is something where the Congress party's political strategy or political campaigning seems to be lacking. Ashwini Kumar may not be seen as a grassroots leader, but he could have had a connect with the crowd and the ground because he speaks that language. He could have taken the fact that he's been a law minister, connected with a UP incumbent. So yes, I would say this definitely goes on to show once again how Congress seems to be losing a grip over the strategy and the campaign in Punjab.
But it doesn't seem to be only Punjab restricted, Pallavi, because if you see the example of Raj Babbar, what explains the rationale there? And there was enough murmurs there that probably he could be shifting and jumping ship to the Samajwadi Party.
Yes, you're absolutely right. I mean, the list is long. Not just Raj Babbar, but many leaders who belong to states who are not being used. The story is the same in Uttarakhand, it is the same in Uttar Pradesh. And Uttar Pradesh at some point of time had put up 22 MPs in the 2004 Lok Sabha elections. Where are they being used? They are named in the star campaigners list who are not even going there and campaigning. It's just a handful of people. I can talk more effectively about Punjab because that's where I am now, Ridhima. And over here, I suddenly see a surge of the central leadership coming in and staying here, but they stay put in Chandigarh. They do the political strategies and the discussions on the ground. Many of them are not being used. Manish Tiwari, as we pointed out, Ashwini Kumar, these are stark examples. Manish Tiwari is a Lok Sabha member of parliament. He has not been included in the star campaigners list is very obvious. He had told me this in the interview. The fact that I'm considered to be close to Captain Amrinder Singh, part of G23, perhaps explains why I have not been included.
Pallavi, you spoke to Manish Tiwari and he said that the reason is known for everybody. If my name would have been included, I would have been surprised. Keep tracking all those developments for us. We'll have to see whether Ashwini Kumar actually jumps ship to another party or not. But we're shifting our focus to some breaking developments now coming.